Hi class, how are you? I'm recording this video on Country Manager so that you have a better view of what is it that you need to do for this week and how is it that you're going to handle this simulation software. So right now I am on the way that you look at your screen. So this is what you see. You have your dashboard, you have the simulation, results, resources, and help. So your assignment for this week was to go to your dashboard where we are, and you have the to-do list. So you have two links here. You have the getting started link and you have the manual and the case. Then there are assignments and a case quiz. So all you need to do this week is the case quiz. The link with the assignments is all the assignments that we're going to be doing throughout the class, though you don't have to worry about them right now because every week I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. So you go to, I'm going to start by the second link where it says the manual and the case. So let's open here, and you have the student manual, which was assigned for you to review it last week. If you didn't do it, or if you went out through, or if you need to revisit, here you have this manual. It is important that you read the whole manual because it's going to give you the answers to many of the questions that you will have throughout the use of this software. Always, if you have a question that you can't find it or that you have a problem, you can either go through the help resources or you can email me and I can help you. Then right here, you have the simulation case. So when you click on this file, you're going to have all the information, and I'm going to click it. It's going to open on a new browser. And this is the market that we're going to be working with, Latin America. So you have to read through these 20 pages. I recommend you printed it out and you have that handy because you can be making notes and figuring out information, sometimes depending if you are a visual learning or not. But you have to read this to understand the case that it's being presented. So I'm going to go back here. You also have a video that you probably, if you read this once and then you watch the video, then it's going to be easier for you to check that out. Just reading the simulation case and just reading the case video, you are going to be able to complete the quiz for this week. However, you should read the country background because at the end of the day, whenever you start working with this simulation, you are going to have to know all the information available. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and that's where you have the manual and case. So if you click here on the getting started, you have a quick start guide, which you should also read. That's a PDF. And this is a tour of the whole simulation. So basically what I'm telling you is you really need to click and go through all the information that it's available. That is the reason why for this week, all you need to do is get familiar with all these files here. And you also need to take that quiz because that quiz is kind of like reinforce the information that you have just learned and that you know it. And if you don't excel in the quiz, then you know where to go back to find the information on that one that it's right. Okay, so you have these two things. That's all what you need to do for this week. Now, while you're here on the resources, you're going to see that there are some videos on Latin America. There's the assignments, which you see that are 18 files. Then you have mini cases. You can click, you can check them out. Do not get scared. There's nothing that you need to do with this right now. You will throughout the semester, but not for this week. Okay, so don't get overwhelmed with all the information. Everything needs to be available here. However, I'm going to be specifically telling you what do you need to do. So when we go back to the dashboard, you go here to where it says case quiz. You take the quiz, And basically, that's your work for the week. Everything stays in this simulation. I am the one who's going to transfer the grades to Moodle. And I will also see the information on which questions did you excel or not. I mean, I have the other back of this software. So there's the quiz. So you see that you have here the My Team option. I will be working on putting those teams together during this week according to the information that you gave me. And whoever did not give me information on a team, that means you're working alone, and that's how it's going to stay. There's no changes. And then you have here the simulation access. So once again, I'll bring you to the dashboard. And I have switched this. You have the practice schedule from March 2nd, and you have 2 times to practice this. So how does this work? And I'm going to show you. You go to the simulation, and you say simulation access, and you say launch the individual simulation. This is not to be work on teams. This is work individually. All the work this week is individually. And this is how it starts. So once you click here, start, it starts. There's no going back. So again, you have to watch this video. Then you're going to have to read the case, which you already read. Then you have a glossary. And then you have the background on all the countries. You're going to do the tour, which was also in the other screen. And then you're going to review content on the environment, on consumers. You have to click and read all this stuff before you really go to start the simulation. So you are having 2 weeks or 2 rounds of practice with the simulation, okay? When you're practicing, you have 3 attempts. So if at the end of your first practice, you don't like your result, or because you will see the numbers and you will see if you were successful or not, you can replay it. This is only for the practice rounds. So you're going to have 2 practice rounds. Each practice round, you can play it 3 times. Once we start, and I'm going to click this out. Once we start on March 15, the first real decision, there's no practice, there's no more resetting. Whatever decision you make, that's what stays. And when we get to March 15, then you will be working on teams if that's how you decided to work. So this week and next week, you have practice rounds. At the beginning, I set it up so that you will only practice next week. So you don't have to practice this week. I actually encourage you to this practice. Just read, and get all the information. You can get to the simulation and read all the links that were posted. So read all these, the countries, read the environment, consumers, competition, and just like kind of soak up all the information, and then really start your practices rounds next week. If you're anxious and want to do it this week, that's fine too. But my recommendation is to first get all that information, absorb it, and understand it, process it, and then you can go and start the practices. Again, all this week and next week, you are working individually. All you need to complete for grading purposes is this quiz here. Okay? If you have any questions, please email me and let me know what questions do you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. Have a good rest of your day.